Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in here. It's Tuesday, January 25th. You know what that means? We're 30 days later. Started this show on Christmas Day. This is episode 20. It's also our final episode of Tola Talks Texas. Final for this season, season 1. Not sure where we go from here, but I do want to say thanks for listening. If you've been listening, 20 shows in 30 days, pretty darn good, right? Hey, thanks for tuning in for sure. I hope I inspired you. Yeah, I hope I inspired you to 1, work out every day. 2, to respect yourself, respect others, and especially respect the environment. For 3, to stay vigilant with your evolution. That's right, we talked about the mind, body, and soul. Got to evolve that, guys, at all times. And 4, inspired you to follow your dreams, whatever they are. As I move forward, you'll see, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what's up next, but yeah, hope you are following your dreams, taking actions, making moves, moving forward. Finally, hope I inspired you to open your eyes. Yeah, open your eyes to what's going on in the world of unvaxxed versus vaccinated individuals and how we're different and why are we different and why are those out there, powers to be, are persecuting those that are not vaccinated. There's a narrative out there, guys. It's been a narrative for how long? Every single day when I turn on the news, really difficult to watch the news. I would like to check the weather. I like to tune in to my local market here in North Texas. And for how many days now? I don't remember. Since, 2 years running? Every single day, it's COVID, 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 COVID. I mean, yeah. These guys talk about, imagine being a newscaster, going to work every day, talking about the same thing. I mean, I wonder if you believe in what they're putting in front of you, right? That teleprompter, you're reading off of that, thinking, oh, here we go again. COVID. I mean, we put the fear in society. We'll get back to that a little bit later, but that's it. We're talking about the one story today, but before we do that, Tola Talks Texas, it's the 4th iteration of this show. 4th iteration. You guys may recall back in 2015, I started Tola Talks on LA Talk Radio. That was awesome. It was a radio-style show. It was an hour. 90 episodes we did. I'm big on numbers, guys, you'll see. Whether it's working out, I'm a numbers person. I believe in that. I was a numbers guy as a kid, really big into math. And I don't know, kind of like thinking about the magic. There's a magic in numbers. Well, we did 90 episodes. Then I went and moved it to the short form on YouTube. Did 60 episodes because, quite frankly, radio was awesome, but everything costs money. And as you know, I produce my own work. I write it, everything, host it, produce it. Yeah, it takes time and money. Everything's time and money. And sure, it's great. It's great to be a performer, entertainer, creating content, but, who's supporting you, right? And I will say that LA Talk Radio, that was like a full day gig to produce a 1-hour show. But anyway, moved it to the short form, 60 episodes. That got me to 150. And then you see when I wrote the book, How to Drink from the Fountain of Youth, did a little Tola Talks 2.0, more personal, more poignant. And we did 20 episodes there, magic number 20 for 2.0. And here we are, episode 20, Tola Talks Texas. So I thought it'd be a good day to end it on the 20th episode. Again, season 1, but loved it. Loved every minute of it. I hope you did. But now it's time for me to move on. Travel. I want to travel. Keep moving. I mean, Texas has been great, but I will say, since I've been here, I think it's the number of people that are now wearing the mask, that are kind of conscious of COVID, still worried about COVID, is like doubled or tripled. It used to be when I first got here. I got here, a couple months back. It seemed like, hey, Texas was, I thought, Texas or Florida, right? The only 2 places. You read my blog. My buddy said, it's only 2 places for you if you're not vaxxed, Texas or Florida. Well, I don't know. I don't know anymore because in Texas, I'm seeing it. There's a lot of fear over here, and maybe that's because more people will be becoming Democrats. We'll see. We'll talk about that in a second. But no, really, it's really for me. I want to travel more. I want to keep moving. I want to go visit my family. You guys know. Give a shout out to my father over there, my mother. Kudos. They're they're getting a little older now. My old man's been battling cancer for 15 years now, and who knows, going to get the best of him soon. So I want to see his family. I want to see my nephews my nephew play baseball. My nieces are graduating college, and I got another nephew. He's rocking it in New York City. Who knows if I can even get into New York City, but we'll talk about that with Sarah Palin in a second. But yeah, it's also time to go dark, I guess, until all this nonsense disappears. It will disappear eventually. People will get over the fear. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe it's going to take another president to get in there down the road, maybe Republican, but Democrats are fearful. Let's talk about that because it's what's been going on. It's really the one story today: COVID, Delta, Omicron, whatever you want to call it. It's a virus. And you go back to my earlier shows, guys, and we go back to when I did Tola Talks 2.0. Viruses go underground, right? Once they reach, you can go back and listen to that, but you're going to believe what you believe, right? People believe what they believe. But viruses have been here before, right? They affect the population once they reach this mass immunity where they get into more than 60%. Well, everybody's going to get COVID. We probably all have COVID. But in any event, eventually it goes underground, disappears. It mutates, and when it mutates, it gets weaker for sure. So we know that. Viruses mutate, they go underground, they go into the livestock, sometimes mad cow disease. But anyway, we do know this. Since the 2 years began, we've been hearing this for 2 years now, over 800,000 people have died, right? Let's talk about that for a second. Because who died, actually? Well, we know that 3/4 of the U.S., this is U.S. COVID deaths, guys, not talking the world, U.S. COVID, 3/4 of the U.S. COVID deaths, read this in the CDC, are 65 and older. Actually, New York Times today came out with, I read it on my phone here, a little email blast. It says 3/4 of U.S. COVID deaths are 65 and older, and 60% of those have at least one comorbidity. So they got something else wrong with them. But let's talk about that. When you got over 800,000 people died over a 2-year period, well, twice as many have died from heart disease. Twice as many, over 1.5 million people have died from heart disease in the same period. Well over 1 million people died from cancer. Cancer, second leading cause. Number 1, heart disease. Number 2, cancer, right? That's what kills people. People die. 500,000 people died of unintentional accidents. 300,000 people died of stroke. Now, this is during the same period. Guys, look up these numbers. Go check it out at the CDC website. Another 300,000 died of respiratory disease, right? Some kind of chronic, whatever, respiratory. 200,000 died of diabetes. Another 100,000 pneumonia. So you get about 3 million people a year that die in the United States. Okay, understood. The last year or two, it's been 10% have died of quote-unquote COVID, right? If they're actually dying of COVID, who knows? But again, New York Times this morning said, they did this poll, and they said it's mild, right? COVID is mild for children and younger adults, right? And it's often severe for the elderly. Well, anything the elderly gets could be severe. Now, I'm not going to say, hey, death, of course, is death a good thing? Well, I don't know. Everybody's going to die. We're all going to die, right? When are you going to die? Yeah, I believe in health. Health equals wealth. So the longer you stay healthy, the longer you're going to be healthier on the planet, right? But take a look at this. It's how worried are you about getting COVID or getting sick from COVID within the next year? And again, check it out in the New York Times. Saw this chart. There's a couple of charts, but they asked, how worried are you about getting sick from COVID within the next year? Those from 18 to 34, 22% very, and 38% were not very, and the rest is in the middle. 35 to 44, 20% were very, 40% not really. 45 to 64, that's my age group, 20%. So 20% from 35 to 64 or 65, about 20% say they're worried. I'm not worried. I'm in the zero category. And 40% say not, but 65 and over, look at this, guys. 65 and over, 17% say they're not worried, 17% say they're worried, 39% not. So 17% of 65 and older who is getting COVID and dying from COVID, but they're not worried, whereas the young kids are worried. Because what's the narrative? These older people, they've been through life. They know, they get it. They base life off their personal experiences. These young kids, they believe They hear they hear something, they believe it, they get worried about it, but they don't have any experiences, no life experiences. Plus, they said the younger lean to the left, the older lean to the right, okay? Democrats, 65% of them versus 30% of Republicans are worried, right? So they're looking at the difference. This is the difference. They said that the changes to protect, this is another stat, right? They said, should we make changes to protect safety and public health? That was 30% Republicans, and 65% Democrats said yes, 30% said from the Republicans. So there is a divide, no doubt. There's a divide between Republicans and Democrats. We have a Democrat president, right? Presidents for Democrats, all they talk about is COVID. They put the fear of COVID in you. They never talk about improving your health, right? They never talk about fitness. You see that? Last 2 years, we got shut down, right? We got shut down. I can't go to the gym. The gym's the most important thing. Worship and the gym. That's what I said, and they shut those down. It's interesting how they never really looked at that as a solution. Hey, get yourself in better physical condition, okay? Unvaxxed versus vaxxed in terms of worried, by the way. The unvaccinated, here's the percentage. Unvaccinated, worried of getting sick from COVID, 14% said very, 56% not. Now, if you have the booster, you're vaccinated with the booster, 22%, they're very worried. So 14% of us unvaccinated are very worried versus the 22% with the booster. So you have the booster and you're still worried. What's that tell you? What do you have? You don't have confidence in the booster? Okay, 31% said not. So it's interesting. 56%. Look at the numbers, guys. Again, look at the numbers. These are numbers that you could evaluate them yourselves. I call it eyes wide shut. You got to keep your eyes open. Okay, you got to go based on personal experiences. What do you believe? What are you afraid of? What's the fear? But there's definitely a disconnect between Democrats and Republicans. And hey, here's the thing. I was always a Democrat. Most of my life I considered myself a Democrat, even though I never registered. I was sort of an independent, but I've definitely moved the other way. I go with the Republicans. I have no fear. I have 0% fear of getting COVID. I get COVID. I don't know. Maybe I had COVID. Maybe I never had COVID. I don't know. I have no fear. But what the problem is we created this divide, the divide between people, whether it's my friends, my family, a lot of people. We just see things a different way. I remember one time told me, some guy got mad at me, a friend of mine. He said, it's because of you we have to still wear a mask. I go, what do you mean because of me? Well, what did I do? What have I done except be in great fit? And he's not even in good physical condition. I said, I'm in great physical condition. I worry about, keeping my body, mind, and soul in tip-top shape. It's going to protect me. Yeah, of course, you can get cancer, you get heart disease. Anybody can get that. But you can't be fearful. And this is what's in society today. When all you hear about is the news, is COVID numbers, it creates fear. Why? Fear is control. If you're afraid, they could control you, right? They could control you. It doesn't really matter because internally, you're controlled by fear. If an actor, it's funny, I read about Adele, love Adele. Adele said she gets stage fright, throws up, she's thrown up after being in front of people. So, fear controls you. As an actor, if you're afraid, you get fearful, it doesn't come out organically, right? It doesn't work when you're fearful. Well, by the way, look, check this out. Sarah Palin, everybody knows Sarah Palin. She's not vaccinated, kudos to her. And she said she had COVID. She tested positive for COVID 2 days after having dinner at Elio's. Now, I know Elio's, Upper East Side, and lived on the Upper East Side for 12 years, New York City. But she goes into the restaurant. She's not vaccinated. Now, she's a regular there, okay? But it's interesting. What's good for the goose is not good for the gander. You ever hear that? Everybody knows that. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Well, that's not the case clearly at Elio's, who, by the way, the city inspectors said Elio's was in compliance with COVID restrictions, right? Because in New York City, you can't even get into the city if you're not vaccinated. Well, I haven't been to New York City since this whole COVID thing happened, but anyway, WTF, right? That's what I say. What's good for the goose is clearly not good for the gander. Hey, guys, come on, get with the program. These vaccination mandates, these rules, come on, it's getting to be ridiculous now. And I want to give a shout out, kudos to Bill Maher. Everybody knows Real Time with Bill Maher's Friday night monologue. I like this, okay, which Whoopi Goldberg came out and fired back. By the way, musicians, all these celebrities kind of taking sides. It's unbelievable, isn't it? I respect their music, but anyway, here we go. Here's what he said. He said, I don't want to live in your paranoid world anymore. Your masked, paranoid world. Me too. I don't want to live in this masked, paranoid world. I do. I see people now. Three-quarters of the people in the gym now are wearing masks. When I first got here, nobody was wearing a mask. So I'm thinking, what's going on? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? What are you fearful of? Getting sick? Everybody gets sick. Come on, get with it. All right, I'm over COVID, he said. I was never scared of it. I was always scared of the reaction to it. That's exactly. Hey, Bill, I'm like 100% in unison with you. Don't want to live in a paranoid world. Don't want to be afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of anything. I remember when COVID first came out, now, guys, you may not like what I'm saying, right? You may be all fearful of COVID and have your experience with COVID, but I haven't. I spend a lot of time by myself. When I'm walking my 12 miles, I never wore a mask. I was never afraid of it. I stay 6 feet away from people because, hey, I respect them. So to them, not for me. I'm not worried about me. I'm saying for them, to make them feel comfortable, I'll stay away from you, okay? That's fine. Let's respect them. I do. Because if you're fearful, then I'm going to respect that. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. So Whoopi Goldberg fired back, right? And, said something about no one deserves to die. Well, of course nobody deserves to die. Well, what's that mean? Anyway. But here's what Bill said. The medical establishment never even attempted to get people to live a healthier lifestyle as a response to this pandemic is a giant scandal to me. And I'm 100% with you on that. Not one time did they talk about living a healthier lifestyle. Never, ever. Nobody ever talks about that. So anyway, kudos to Bill Maher. Guys, that's all I have to say, and I'm not out there. Maybe I've left the reservation in many ways, but my thoughts are clear. I know so many people that got the shot because they didn't want to lose their job. They didn't want to lose their pension. They did it because they have daughters, and the daughters are all freaked out about it because they came back from college, and they're like, hey, I don't really believe in this shot, but I had to get the shot. Well, I didn't have to do it for anybody else's reasons other than mine. So I didn't get the shot, not getting the shot, don't believe in the shot, and say, hey, if I get COVID, that's my problem. I get that. That's my choice. It's my personal choice. I've been clean and sober, guy. I mean, since I left California, forget it, the pot world, I kind of left that behind, but I haven't had a drink, you guys know this, in over 14 years. So living a clean and sober life here, but hey, I'm not fearful, never going to be. Speaking of which, never going to be. How about drinking from the fountain of youth? Are you going to be? Because that's the way I live my life. Got to drink from the fountain of youth. How do you do that? Well, I did the 30 steps. We covered all 30 steps, guys, over the past 30 days, 20 shows. But let me leave you with these 5, okay? Step 19, eat to lose, right? This is all about what you put in your body. Eat to lose weight. Right? Don't eat to gain weight. Number 20, walk to win. You got to walk every day. You got to get your heart moving. Heart disease, got to keep that heart strong, okay? Eat to lose, walk to win. How about number 21? Embrace a fat-burning mindset. So those 3, 19, 20, 21. Got to be thinking about fat is not good, okay? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My body fat's under 10%, but it's not good. Obesity, we talked about that. How could it be good? It's not good for your heart. Okay, you got to empower the mind, body, and spirit, and got to do that. Eat to lose, walk to win, embrace a fat-burning mindset. How about number 27? Exercise daily. Do it every day, guys. I'm going to have 50 workouts under my belt today. I'm going back for a second one. Today, it was all about numbers again, but finally, self-correct. We'll talk about my workout in a second. Self-correct is the last one, step 30. When you find yourself getting off track, if you're not eating to lose, if you're not walking at all, if you're not embracing a fat-burning mindset, and if you're not exercising daily, self-correct. You can do it. Anyone can. Speaking of which, had a great workout today, guys. I went in there and I said, I'm not taking breaks today. in honor of all the numbers, right? So what did I do? My usual, stretch and abs. And I moved quick today because I want to get in and out. 30 minutes, 30, the magic number 30 days later. Boom. I did chest. I did 3 sets. And I just did a little triangle, right? Let's say I started with 100, then I went to 110, back down to 100. But I didn't take breaks. I took 2 deep breaths between each set. So I did 3 sets of chest, boom. Then I did 3 sets of back, boom. Then I did 3 sets of shoulders, boom. Then I did 3 sets of biceps, boom. Then I did 3 sets of triceps. That's 5 times 3. Do the math. That's 15 times 10. That's 150, right? Did it really strong, really quick. Plus I did another stretch and the dips. I superset it. I did total of 200, by the way. Supersets, I did 10 and 10, right? I do dips, pull-ups, boom, and then I did 3 different things for abs at the end, machines, 10 sets, 10 each. So I got to the 200. So that's what I did, and I'm going back for more because I love it. All right, guys, keep drinking from the fountain of youth. It will serve you well. Finally, let's talk about the markets today. Hey, kudos to the stock market. Came roaring back yesterday. I talked to a friend of mine. He was very negative on it, and I said, watch, the Dow Jones going to finish strong today, which it did. Came back super strong, was up 100 or so, 99, way to go. But the cryptos, been talking about this. This will be my last time talking about this because, hey, cryptos are what I'm all about right now. And, kudos to me. They're kind of making their way, clawing their way back. Bitcoin's finally found the ground at 36,000, I believe so, 36.5 today. Ethereum's clawing its way back. I think you'll see Ethereum at 2,500 real soon. Doge, my fave, is at 14 cents. Way to go. I'm looking at 28 cents. I hope that doubles. So if you buy a little bit of Doge, maybe you'll double your money. The Classic, I know, Ethereum Classic, that probably claws its way back to 40 at some point, holding around 24, 23, 24. Litecoin took a beating. Litecoin I knew would be at 108, and who knows what Litecoin's that wild card. Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. I own Bitcoin Cash and the BSV. Those guys took a pounding, but who knows, guys? I will say, I was surprised with Tesla. Earnings come out tomorrow after the close, and Tesla kind of got crushed. I thought Tesla would be back at 1,000. I still think it does. But again, guys, if you're investing in the markets, you got to stay positive. If you need the money, don't be investing anything that you need, right? You got to keep your money to where you need it. If you need it, these are risky. Everything's risky. Nothing goes straight up. Remember that. If you're a long-term investor, though, you will win. I believe that. But also focus on real estate, guys. Real estate's in my blood. You'll read that in my memoir. But that's something that I truly believe you should own your home. I've been renting. I'm an idiot for renting. So, what are you going to do? I mean, if I decide to move out of this place, they're going to whack me for a couple $1,000s just to leave. But hey, if I need to travel and I need to hit the road, that's what you got to do. But if you could own your home, that's a great asset. I know my family did quite well owning their home, and if you could have no debt on your home or your car, that's even better, right? Those assets, a car is a depreciating asset for sure, but most people need a car. A lot of people don't need a car. But stay strong. Don't be fearful. Work out every day. These are things you want to always be positive, right? Think positive, speak positive, feel positive. One more day at the gym, guys. By the way, I'm teaching on Saturday. If I could see you there. If I don't see you there, like I said, I'm going for a little road trip. So it might be my last Tola yoga class over at Plano Athletic Club. Might be the last one for a little while. So hope to see you there. It's a 12:30 class. If you're in the North Dallas or North Texas area, Plano, downtown. It's been a great run. I really, truly have loved it. I love talking, and I do like interviewing. So maybe one day when we get back, season 2, who knows, if I'm here, somewhere else, start interviewing people, but maybe wait for all this craziness to die down. Eventually, COVID, it's going to be in our lifetime. It's like, it'll stick around. I'm sure they'll bring it back somehow in some other form to create fear, but don't be fearful, right? Live your life. Follow your dreams. And always, 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 always get your workout in. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Peace.